Sunday Sharpe, do, Sunday Sharpe, do. Sunday Sharpe, do. Hello, fishy peeps and modelly peeps and all sorts of other peeps. And let's move the camera slightly. And straighten my t-shirt up a little bit because I'm a scruffy Herbert. How is everyone today? All of no use here. Yeah, good start. Yo, Anthony. Hope all is well with thou. And it's showing no one's here, but there's something in the chat and there's a thumbs up, so perhaps it's a ghost. So, normally I'd get through at the start and run through what I've been doing this week, but as there's no one here yet, we'll give it a minute. Hey, back. Shady's back again. Oh, people starting to roll in now. Oh, and she's leaving on a jet plane. Never mind, you'll have to wait another week for more cuddles. It'll get there, Anthony, don't worry. Hey, absence makes the heart grow fonder. I was thinking of something else growing stronger, but that's a different saying that probably demonetizable. 2 weeks. Oh no. Yeah, I know that feeling, sir. I can thoroughly sympathize with that. Back when we had first lockdown last year, I didn't see Mary for 3 months, so yeah, that wasn't fun. Yeah, not good. Hey, these things will work themselves out and you'll get there and get it all sorted and all will be good. We got a couple of lurkers as well. Yeah. I mean, Kate, you guys live a long way away from each other, but we're in different counties, so we weren't allowed to travel in different households, and it wasn't until they slightly changed the rules you could have a support bubble. There's Stevie P 2003 or Quartix. Or Awkwardix, whichever way you want to put it. Depends how posh you are. Me, not very. So we'll get to what's been occurring this week. Start of the week, not a lot. Got my water changes done, fed me fishies, blah blah blah, job done. It's kind of what I was hoping for after the disaster of last week and the 10 gallon of Pleco soup. Then during the week, I got a message out of the blue from one of my friends. They're getting out of the hobby. So I've got some fish coming my way and a couple of tanks for free. Yeah, I'm not really going to say no. I can jam something in somewhere. So that was a bonus. Then yesterday morning, go to feed these guys, and as you may or may not know, there's a spawn of bristlenose pleckies in there, about 100 of them. And I looked in and I thought, that's not a bristlenose. That looks suspiciously like a live bearer fry. That'd be a molly then. So we spent a good amount of time yesterday catching. Oh, no, that one is in the tank. think the last count 31 baby mollies, and popping them in there. So that's a bonus. They're all happy and healthy. And we've got 2 more heavily pregnant females as well. So, yay. Anytime anyone's getting out of hobby, they want to sell their 2012 for $100. Hello, Shannon Anna. How are you, my dear? Yeah, sounds about right. I've known the guy since I was 16, so 29 years. And he knows I'm out of work at the moment and breeding fish, so he's moving, wanting to get rid of the tanks. Kind of works. Manda Panda, looking, doing long division again. Accountant who hates maths after attempting to teach it. Ooh, yeah. Long division sucks. Just do normal division. It's so much easier. Well, I always had that thing in my head where I can just throw numbers about and answers come out. And it's weird. Heck, I'm the one that went to college and did extra maths. And then decided to start doing some physics studies. So even more maths. It's when you're sitting there doing simultaneous differentiation and you get about 5 sheets of A4 in and you just go, oh, I know what, I'll use a computer. And the college computers couldn't work it out either. Hey, 3G, how you doing? Always about. So yeah, upside, 2 new tanks coming. One I know what I'm going to do with, which is going to be replacing the 40 litre or 10 gallon plastic tub down there. That one that has been my Pleco grow out tub and was the source of the Pleco soup incident last week. I'm thinking by replacing it with an actual glass clear tank, if something goes wrong, I might actually have a chance of seeing it earlier. So, yay for that. G'day, yes. How the devil art thou? I'm gonna go see little Jessie. I'll give her a hug from me. Yeah, so one of the tanks at least is going to be a Pleco grow out tank, so that's easily sorted. It's just what to put in the other one, yeah. Hashtag Saturday morning cartoons. I have to say I did enjoy myself yesterday. Satisfied my inner nerd. I'm going to have to make sure to either watch on a bigger screen or do it on my phone next week so I can actually see the pictures. My old tablet, yeah, it doesn't really show pictures of fish very well, especially not streamed. It can struggle. So yeah, so I mean, technically it's a 17 gallon tank that I'm looking for stocking ideas, but we'll call it a 20 because, you know, it's me. I'm going to overstock it, whatever. Sue me. So if you guys had a 20 gallon and you can set it up however you wanted to set it up, it doesn't have to be a certain way. What would you stock it with for breeding to make money that also looks good? Bearing in mind, I've already got 2 shrimp tanks. Well, there's another colony starting up on their own in another tank as well. So, yeah. I missed one. Yeah, I'll say I already got 2 and a bit shrimp colonies, Anthony, so don't need any more. Bristle noses I'm kind of sorted on, although more wouldn't go amiss. CPDs, not really. I've got CPDs in another tank and they don't like my mop water. Yeah, I say the live bearer thing. I know I say I've got mollies and I've got molly fry that I've saved. Right. Here's the thing. Yes, for selling at the LFS and in the UK, it doesn't matter how carefully line bred it is or how pretty it is. A guppy is worth 10 pence. Guppies sell for £2.95. Right? You're not going to get much for guppies or platies or swordtails or mollies. Any of the standard live bearers are basically live food. Rainbows really don't like my water. And a 20-gallon is a bit small. They would buy dwarf cichlids. I'm working on a pistos at the moment. Rams, unless I did Bolivians, which aren't popular because they're not bright and electric bluey and pretty. Because standard rams, again, don't like my water. And they have a lifespan of about 2 to 3 months. It's just the way rams are. I'm sorry, but I've tried. I can't keep them alive. One pair of angels, I could, but I'd have to buy a bunch of angels to find a pair. That is the problem. Again, pea puffers, you're not going to sell because general public don't want a tank for one small fish. Even if it's because in the UK, a 5-gallon isn't considered a small tank. That's a normal sized tank. A 20-gallon is considered a fairly sizable tank. I mean, in general circles, obviously amongst like fish keepers, yeah, the simple stuff is where the money is. Yeah, so it's got to be something that they can sell them all. Something that's going to be popular, but not too expensive. So there's no point breeding saucer fish. Not that I'd bother because they're just boring and a waste of time. Yeah, this is it. So I mean, I'm on hard water. So I was on a toss up between doing bristle noses, pistos or cribs, and perhaps a Goodyear or a Limia, or something Tanganyikan that isn't shell dwellers. So Brichardi, Calvus, Cyprichromus, something like that. $20 wholesale, yeah. It's also got to be something I can afford to buy the parents of. I mean, if you're talking value, that little guy there, that common black pleco, bristle-nosed pleco, he's at least worth £1,000 at the moment. He may only have cost me about a fiver, but he's a dad to at least 1,000 bristle noses. Hello, Mystery Snail Guardians. How are you? We do have snails here. Do not panic. Some intended, some not intended, as is the way with snails. But I don't get rid of them and kill them all. I have some fish do that. Hence, the only tanks I have algae issues in are the shell dweller tanks because they keep killing the blimmin' snails. Trying to get my head. Yeah, again, snails, great. Mystery snails are illegal. Apple snails only just came off the banned list. I have got sore, stiff neck. Trumpet snails, obviously no one's going to pay for them. In here we do have some pretty hot pink and blue-green ram's horns. So hopefully we're going to be breeding ram's horns in there. So yeah. They only took, you and I both know that mystery snail guardians. Unfortunately, our government doesn't see it that way. So the apple snails are legal, but all the mystery snails are still illegal. Brackish raising nerites. I've got nerites. That is an idea. Brackish would take some looking into, though. Now you got me thinking. But then, given the amount I could breed, would it be? Could I sell them, and what would I get for them? Howdy, Jason, degenerate fish keeper. Willkommen. Bienvenue. He says mixing 3 languages into one. Yeah, let's be honest. I'm probably going to go bristlenoses, apistos, and small limias or goodyids or something like that in there. Maybe killifish. And this killies stay up the top, your pistos stay low. Oh, I know the amount of eggs and nerite leaves behind it. They're all over the tank. Fortunately, I have bristlenoses, and bristlenoses eat nerite eggs. So that works. Actually, let me change that. My bristlenoses eat nerite eggs. I'm Spotty's mate in here, Bertie, who I think was sleeping down here earlier. Oh, she's moved. She even eats blackbeard algae. Sleep is always good, Stephen. I doubt anyone's going to complain if you slept through something. Mandy usually sleeps through my streams. But the only reason I don't is energy drink. So yeah, that's something for me to think on. Fish I'm getting, well, it's a few black neons and a couple of rummy noses. So once they've done quarantine, they'll go in there with the rest. 2 gourami. Not entirely sure what flavour gourami they are. They're not big ass gourami and they're not salami gourami. They're not the honeys or the dwarfs. They're next size up, sort of darkish coloured. But I should be rehoming them anyway to somewhere else. Pardon me. And apparently a 12-year-old female bristlenose. She's probably going to be past breeding age, but I would have thought so anyway. So once she's gone through quarantine, she can go in there. Won't be any trouble. Hey, John Mackenzie. Welcome aboard. So yeah, that's what we're gonna kind of do. Anyway, no, I was more because I don't know much about African cichlids. Specifically, we're talking the smaller African cichlids, not the maboonas and haps and peacocks and the psycho murderfish. The ones that again sell for silly money in America. Like $5 over here. And because I am naturally in a hard water area, it just kind of seemed sensible if I could perhaps breed something that thrives in hard water, because around here everyone else's tank is likely to be fairly hard water. So if there was a friendly African cichlid that doesn't dwell in shells, that's kind of where I was going. And don't say crebensis. I've still got the bloody things appearing out of nowhere. I mean, I thought I had about 20 of them. Then I sold 20. And there's still over 20 in there. Yeah, Corys are a good one. I've got 10 Palliatus Corys in the 10-gallon. Not sure whether it's an age thing why they haven't started breeding yet, but or time of year or whatever. Yeah, that's another one because I know they are a popular fishy. So, hello, Muppet. And Marriott, my love, how the devil art thou? Yeah, so something. I'll figure something out. It might literally be a case of wander around a fish shop and go, ooh, shiny. Ooh, they got boy and girl. You know, kind of how it generally goes with me. I see the fishies and I go, ooh, that's nice. Right, phone out. How does the hell the difference between male and female? Because I try to buy a pair of everything just in case these things happen. Sometimes they do when you're not expecting it. Other times they just don't. Well, it took a year. Yeah, exactly. I've only had mine a few months. I mean, they're Palliatus, and they're maybe a little over an inch and a quarter. And there is one extremely comical one on there. His dorsal fin is almost as long as his body is. It looks like a little bumper car going around. But yeah, so I'll give them plenty of time. No, it's not. I'm not going to shift them out just because they're not breeding. For all I know, they're still too young. It's a case of, as you say, water changes. Keep feeding them. Keep cleaning the filters out. And eventually, what will probably happen, knowing me, is I'll be completely oblivious until one day I look at the tank and go, what the hell's that? That's a baby Cory. Cool. That's what will happen. Let's be honest, that's how it does generally happen with me. It's either, where'd that female whatever go? Or why are they hanging about in that corner of the tank for? No, I don't know. And then you suddenly see a little cloud of babies. Right. Okay, time to go bleach your breeder box. About the only ones I've got nailed on are the bristle noses. I suppose I really should keep an eye on the clown plecos just in case they decide to breed as well. That would be rather cool if I can get baby clownies. But then there's nothing in that tank that would eat them anyway, so that'd be okay. Yeah, it's just clown plecos, pygmy cories, CPDs, and a small growing colony of shrimp that's turned up from somewhere. It kind of happens around here. Shrimp turn up where they've not been put before. Cribs just appear. Trumpet snails just materialize in every tank. So, other things I've been up to this week. Not a lot, really. Weather was fairly warm, and I tried to avoid it as much as I could. The promised rain didn't really turn up. There was a thunderstorm a few miles away, but we completely missed the rain. As can be told by where we went for a walk today. And yeah, they definitely had a lot more rain. But yeah, we went for a walk down by the River Lark, down near Bury, just in the Suffolk, really. A very pretty little river. Took a few pictures. Nice walk. Pretty wildlife. Too many people about, really, but could well be the last bright, warm, sunny weekend there is this year, so people are making the most of it. Looking in the river, even without polarizing sunglasses, we saw a shoal of dace that were feeding off the surface. Then a bit further upstream, saw these fish, and I thought, the heck's that? That don't look like it. It's not like that. Running through the list in my head of things that I thought would be in the river, I was like, no, it's not that. It's not that. It's not. Oh, they're brook trout. Okay. First time I've ever seen them. So yeah, lots of brook trout swimming around. Most of them no longer than that. There were a couple that were getting on for a foot in length. Like, wow, that's cool to see. A little bit further, two honking great chub just come swimming by. It's like, hang on, you're a chub that's like 18 inches long, and you're living in a river that is probably no more than 12 feet wide, maybe 18 inches deep. Just shows they don't need a lot of depth of water, and they'll be in there all year round. Obviously in the winter they'll go to the deeper pools, which aren't really that deep. There are a bunch of warning signs, don't fall in, be careful. You could wade across it and not get your knees wet in places. Some people fall in panic and thrash around and not think to just stand up. Glad your mum's doing better, Muppet. So we go from there. What else have we done this week? Really very little again. I tend not to do much if I can get away with it. Generally nothing interesting anyway. Zach the cat has been around again. He's been playing his silly games, pulling out airlines. The shadow figure's been back around again. I think I might have actually heard them talk this morning as well. I know the neighbours were out and I heard a voice. So that might actually be, depending on if I don't come up with any better ideas, might be the subject of next week's video. Why are people scared of ghosts? Weird subject for a mostly fish channel, I know. If you don't tend to watch my videos, I do all sorts. Ghost ones, model ones, nature ones, paranormal ones. Ones specifically designed to upset people. So, that, as any other creators here will know, coming up with ideas can get tricky. Most of them have been done a lot of times. As I said to Mandy yesterday, there's only so many fish room tours you can do. And there's only so many shop tours you can do until you run out of shops. Although when I do finally get around to doing my actual LFS, that's going to be a good few videos. Still not sure whether I'm going to do one on the burn it with fire section. That's the section that's either got things with far too many legs or far too few legs. Anywhere between 2 and 4, maybe 6 is a good amount of legs. More or less is not good. I would do the bird section, but that'd be rather noisy. So yeah, it'd be the cold water section, or the cold water section, the tropical section, the marine section, the burn it with fire section, maybe the furry section. So that'll keep you going for a few weeks anyway on video content. And then there'll be a new tanks video, obviously, and new tank setup. I suppose I could do a here's how I cycle a tank video. That'd definitely upset people. Yeah, definitely upset people. But hey, that's what molly fry are for. They're easy to catch. And they're pretty tough. It's Jimmy P. Hello, sir. How the devil art thou? Let's say, if anyone's got any ideas for videos they'd like me to do, feel free to put them in chat. Always up for a good idea, or even a bad idea. Yeah, I'm all right. Bit stiff and achy, but you know, getting old. going for long walks on hot days is not healthy. Fishimon. The temptation to say that in a really bad Caribbean accent is just too, yeah. It's there, and but did you have, yeah, I had a really hard paper round, Jimmy. I'm older than I look, actually, which can be a good thing. It can be a bad thing. People don't believe how old I am. I know you wouldn't mind, but you can guarantee, I mean, maybe not in this chat, but there might be somebody who watches it back who would take offence. Because I'm really bad at accents and it would just sound racist. I mean, anyone who knows me knows I've not got a racist bone in my body. Well, except for the one that doesn't like the French. But, you know, I'm English. I'm not supposed to like the French. That's not race, that's a nationality. Well, I'm glad I can cheer someone up. Usually makes the day. It's like you get to the end of the day and you think, what have I accomplished today? And if all you've done is you've made someone's day a bit better, it was worth it. That's the way I see things. Yeah, people got to chill, exactly. But this day and age, people don't get comedy or jokes. No. The title of today's stream, Good Golly, Miss Molly, because of the 30-odd baby Mollies that are in that breeder box now. There will probably be someone who, not live, but will go to watch the replay expecting a reaction video or something to the Little Richard song. Was it Little Richard, Good Golly, Miss Molly? I think it was. And then they'll complain that the video isn't about what they thought it was going to be about. But, you know, you've got to come up with a title, so. And I can't keep track of what blimmin' episode it is. Otherwise, it'd be like Sunday Sharpe episode 83, Sunday Sharpe episode 84. I can't remember that stuff. Hell, some days I forget to eat. You wouldn't think that by the size of me, but I do. Yeah, exactly, Steve. 2021, nothing is funny. Exactly. Oh, sarcasm is the best kind of humour. Yeah, I'm English. Sarcasm is a way of life. Big Tank Hank, how's it doing, Garrick? How are you, my friend? Yeah. I mean, I'm a smart ass, sarcastic. Like to upset people who need upsetting. I have certain views on certain things that some people don't like. Normally because they're dumb. Incapable of thinking outside the box. He's getting off work. Oh, sympathies, brother, sympathies. Although at this point, I think I'd actually quite look forward to be leaving off work at some point. It's been a good few months now, so best I start looking, really, isn't it? Yeah, so I'm a bloody top chat again. Good job I ain't got a busy chat, isn't it? Because otherwise I'll be screwed. Why is it when I go onto someone else's stream, first thing I do, click the thumbs up or the thumbs down, depending on whose stream it is. The second thing I do is go to live chat. On my own in stream, I forget to go to live chat. Easy now, Danny. Danny boy. Yeah, don't go getting yourself in trouble at work. Don't want to be doing that. You don't want to be like me, sitting around all week when you have stuff to do. Although you got a missus, so your honey-do list would just grow daily. I say so for the late joiners, not knocking anyone because hey, we all got lives. Quick recap of this week's news. Miss Molly dropped. We got 30 odd Molly fry in there. 2 new free tanks coming. Well, the fish are coming this Friday. Tanks are coming afterwards. So we'll have an actual grow out tank rather than plastic tote bin. And then looking for ideas for stocking a 64 litre, 17 gallon tank. It's got some weird external filter thing on that I'm probably going to have to pull apart and chuck a bunch of rocks out of it. Don't usually switch the live chat until you miss something. Yeah, that's kind of what I think I've just done. And unfortunately for my old boss, he'd sold out the mega monsters, so I went with the daddy bowl on my meal deal, which cost him an extra 30p. So we'll do it. Well, my excuse is I'm old and crap. So, and if I'm sitting and looking quite weird, it's because I woke up with his shoulder dislocated this morning. No, I didn't go back for the sick head. Tempting as it was. I think the thing I'd be most likely to go back for was either the pelvic acromis ocellatus or the Epistogramma cacatoides orange flash. How do you know if you're missing something? Someone posts an answer to a question that you've not seen, or a joke reply to something that you've not seen. Adme does not translate well in Google interface land. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, it's all right. I mean, my shoulders just come out of joint anyway, but what happened is I've rolled over in my sleep and I've woken up with my right arm around here. So first thing I had to do this morning was put it back in the right place, which means it's a bit stiff. All right, thank you very much. Sharpe is 50%. No, technically, 50% of that shoulder is missing. I'm just born without it. It's about 30% that side. Evening, Aaron. You got rain. Oh no. You see, you can quite happily send the rain this way. I'll take all the rain you got, as long as it lowers the temperature and makes it cloudy and dark. Use the force. Use the Schwartz. That's what I say. And who's going to get that movie reference? Humid too. Yeah, it's going to be humid because the ground's hot. The rain hits the ground and evaporates. Yeah, but Anthony, you don't live in England. You're in California. It very rarely rains. How's the song go? It never rains in Southern California. Yes, of course, Spaceballs. What's your name? Bath. Not in here. You don't. This is a Mercedes. Hey, your one or my one? Turn it around, Stephen. I don't mind. Oh, heck, I derail enough other people's streams. We all go to our rooms without internet. That sounds a good plan to me. All national forests closed in Southern California. Bummer. Is that because of rain or is it Bigfoot breeding season? Have you ever thought of that? Are they closing the forest because they think they might be fires? Or are they closing the forest because they don't want people knowing that Bigfoot are breeding? And they really don't want people to come across that in, well, someone probably would come across that. But reference and train give away typing individual. Oh no. Oh no. Oh yeah. A new bearer. Yeah. It's yeah. Yeah. I mean, well, we used to do it on, because people don't know, I used to be on another channel's show, modelling one. And we'd do giveaways by random number generator. Everyone puts a number in the chat. And then you had to scroll through all the entries to find whoever's closest. Doesn't sound too bad till you got 200 odd people there. And not everyone's chat stream will show everything. So like, I'd get comments on my stream where I'd see numbers, put that in our chat, and people would go, and yeah, I ain't got that on mine. So you then had to send screenshots. So, yeah, there's no real easy way of doing it, except by asking a really difficult question. Now, it's on how many different ways are there of fingering a diminished seventh chord? Yeah, Aaron's got it. Yeah, I'll say Aaron's been there for those giveaways. You've seen the cluster that happens sometimes. Oh dear. And the worst one for me was we used to do viewers build of the week, where there would be a post on the Facebook page where the various members of the group could post pictures of their latest completed builds, model kits or whatever, and then we'd go through it on the show, and then the people watching got to vote on who they thought should win. It sounds fairly easy. As long as people remember to put what the model is and the name of the person who built it. But when someone just puts, say, tiger or focke-wulf, and there's about 8 of them, and you're trying to tally up the votes, it's a bit of a nightmare. And yeah, T34 Tunk, yeah. Yeah, it'll be something really, I say, common that a lot of people build, and no, it's spelt with an E, Aaron. Tenk is Russian. It's a tank. It's a strong tank. Yeah, Nightbot. Nightbot don't like me. How many tanks from the left in the middle? Oh, now you know the ironic thing there, Dan. I do actually check I'm not flying low before I hit record in front of fish tanks. Sounding more South African, yes, South African, yes. It just shows I've watched District 9 too many times and not enough Russian movies. Mind you, the subtitles in Russian movies are even more hilarious than the subtitles in old kung fu movies. But yeah, I'm guessing probably most of the guys here that have done YouTube videos, especially fishy ones, have on a hot day got the camera out and started recording stuff. Then you've watched it back and you've seen the reflection in the tank of you stood there in maybe your boxers or maybe boxers and a t-shirt, but there's something hanging out of the boxers that shouldn't be on YouTube, and then had to go back and reshoot the entire video. Hands up in chat who's done that more than once. There's one of my, I can't remember which one it was now. Might have been the car. Well, I did the yeah, exactly, Aaron. Where it was the Calsonic Skyline, I think, building a model of, and there's a video suspiciously missing out of the middle of that build, because when I went to watch it back to check and unload it or upload it, there were a couple of friends poking out saying hello. It's obviously a top-down camera view. Got the angle a bit wrong. Yeah, definitely had some bits. Yeah, I don't do editing. I hit record, do what I've got to do, then hit stop, and that's what gets uploaded. I think it's maybe 3 videos now I've had to reshoot, but everything else is all first go. Hey, nerd! Jason, how the devil are you, Mr. Redfish Bluefish? Right, how to word it. Here you go. Brain teaser for you, Jason. 20-gallon tank, breeding for profit, no shrimp, live bearers, or bristle noses. Go. And I've got very hard water. So yeah, where were we? Yeah, so I think it is literally 3 videos I've had to reshoot. Stevie P with the Achilles. You see, Achilles are cool, and I do like Achilles. But I bought some and I had a bad experience. They managed to jump into the filter and mince themselves. I was really careful about keeping the lid on, keeping the lid shut so they can't jump out. Snails, yeah, this is something I have kind of been thinking. But a lot of the snails that people might want to breed, we can't have in the UK. Literally, when I went to the place that I did the video on this week, Express Aquatics. In over 3 years keeping fish, that is the first time I've seen ram's horn snails for sale. Longfin white clouds. Yeah, white clouds would be cool. And I've got the golden ones in the 10 gallon. I think they're all males. Maybe try and find some females might be an idea. Although with a bunch of Paliatus cories in there, they're probably eating any eggs that would get laid. Probably eating their own eggs if they are laying as well. So yeah. Well, you out getting your strength up, are you, Spotty? You're cleaning my glass for me. You're a good boy. Yes, you're a lovely fat pleco. And yes, the mollies are having massive poops again. Yeah. See, again, I just don't have luck with CPDs. I could sell the hell out of them. I just don't have any luck with them. Might just be my complete ineptness as a fish keeper. Let's have a look. There he is. There's the world's most awesome, expensive bristlenose pleco. If anyone wants to buy him, £1,000. And just behind him, giving him a little kiss, is Bert. Hello, Bert. Yeah, you got yourself a bit stuck, have you? Who else is out and about? Let's see if we can get. Oh, yeah, we're going to get bad glare, but lyre-tail mollies, chili rasboras. Yeah, that's another idea. But I say nano fish haven't really taken off over here. As I've got the shellies. And more shellies. We do have baby shellies in there somewhere in amongst all the blue-green algae. Snail breeding tank. We started out with 6, so hopefully we can get more. There's the cribby cribs. There's a couple. There's 20 odd in there. And in there, at the far end, there's about 100 bristle noses. Yeah, everyone loves chilies. Yeah, exactly. They're hard to get, and if you can find them, they're bloody expensive as well. I mean, hell, chili raspberries you could keep in breeder boxes. Hey, what I think I may do is either decide on whether I want to go sandy and rocky or planty and soily and woody, and then go from there. So I decide the kind of tank, that will kind of decide the sort of fish. And the reason I'm kind of wanting to go towards African is because most of my tanks are planted in the loosest sense of the term. They have plants in them. And from where I sit in my armchair, all the tanks I can see are planted tanks. So I was thinking, just something different to look at. Maybe something Tanganyikan. Brashadi are cool. They would probably be okay in a Sharpe 20 gallon. But then I think with a lot of the Tanganyikans, you got to buy sort of 5 or 6 to make sure you get a pair, because they all look the same when they're juvenile or small. Um, even when they're grown up, even when they're adult, half of them look the bloody same anyway. Love chilies in my tacos. Yeah, tacos would be great if they didn't put blooming kidney beans in them. Oh, I suppose we have a similar thing over here. It's called a mince sandwich. You just fry some mince up, make a bit of gravy, and then put it in between some bread. Basically the same thing. Eat them fast. Yeah. Yeah. I do like a bit of chili in things though. But as I say, Dan, we have meat pies, and Americans just don't seem to get the whole idea of the meat pie. Can't go wrong. Steak and kidney pie. Oh, mashed potato or boiled potatoes and gravy. Yum, 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 yum. Scarlet Baddis. Well, Express had Scarlet Baddis, so I can get hold of them. Again, with something like that, it's the feeding that's the problem. Because I don't really do the whole live food thing. And then it's the making sure do get females as well. Ow. Vampire backs, tomato puree, and chili powder. Yeah, US stuff. So, yeah. I'm guessing US chili powder is probably the same as US mustard. Got about as much kick to it as a quadriplegic. Microwaves are easy. Yeah, true. I know what I'm like though. OC123. How you doing, Wizard Games? See, I remembered this week. Yeah, brine shrimp. I'll say I've got the brine shrimp hatchery. I just keep forgetting to put brine shrimp in it. Or keep forgetting to feed them. Now, actually feed the brine shrimps and the fish. And then you either end up with, not baby brine, you end up with big brine shrimp, or you end up with a slimy, nasty mess when they all die. And because I can't smell it, that tends to be what happens. I know I'm hamstringing myself quite badly, but two hatcheries sitting dry. So I've got me and Dan got the Hobby Artemia hatchery, which works really well. It's a brilliant little piece of kit. But say I just keep forgetting to put brine shrimp eggs in it. Literally. I know if I set it up and get it going and start feeding my shell dwellers baby brine shrimp, I'll get lots of baby shell dwellers again. I just keep forgetting. There's always a gnat that's calling me. Or just watch this one more video. Just watch this one more video. Oh crap, it's time for bed. Yeah, that kind of seems to be what happens with me quite a lot. Hence why I have the fairly, and that's nowhere near all of it, the fairly vast selection of foods. There's at least 3 or 4 different fry foods up there. Gradually. So I'm all right. I'm doing okay. Mustn't grumble too much. Bit sore and stiff, but you know, lengthy walk on a hot day. It was kind of nice down by the river. Then we got away from the river and walking across heathland in direct sunlight. Wasn't fun. Oh, pardon me. Fire and hole. So I've got some more ideas anyway for what I might put in a new tank. Got to get the tank first and then figure out what we're going to do with it. There's going to be something that'll spring to mind. Either that, or as I say, I will just, oh well, bristle noses and a pistos it is then. With some probably limia, maybe some goodyeads. One of the rarer live bearers because we might actually get more than 10p for one. And no, I'm not going into setting up and selling online or any of that. That's just too much headache. I can't be dealing with all that. As I say, sometimes I struggle to motivate myself to just do anything. Or it's just the underlying depression that's constantly there. Sometimes it spikes up and gets really bad. Other times it's just underlaying. It's just, meh. That's generally Sharpe life. Oh, pardon me. Yes, I'll figure something out. Trying to think what else is there I could talk about this week. I'm not seeing any movies. Life at the sharp end. Yeah, there's more life at the blunt end, really. It's try to do something simple when I struggle to be motivated. I mean, to be fair, everything I've got to do is fairly simple. It's just you're finding that motivation. Once I get myself up and doing it, it's like, oh, that only took 5 minutes. Why was I so about it? But you know, it's probably why I haven't been at the bench for months. It involves doing something. Sharp end aquatics. I might steal that. I was thinking about changing it. Was I don't really do the models anymore on the channel, so having the models there first doesn't really fit. And as I'm not just doing fishy stuff, there's probably going to be model stuff in the future. We've got the paranormal, the nature stuff, whatever random other stuff I decide to do. I could just go with Sharpie's stuff. Yes. So weird to think is what, a little over 3 years now I've been keeping fish. There's the Bobster. Good evening, Mr. Kayla, sir, or Kayla's Aquatics and Exotics. How the devil art thou? Sharp end models. Nah, it doesn't. Sounds a bit perverse, doesn't it? yeah, again, this is me. I'll come up with something. It might be months down the line, but I'll figure something out. Ooh, bad glare. Oh, geez, my glasses need a clean. Yeah, they're not tinted glasses. And the problem is, if I try and clean them on my t-shirt, it's just going to go all smeary and horrible, and I won't be able to see anything. Trying to sit in a position where you've not just got a massive glare of the. Got my glasses down my snout a bit. That's better. Now I can barely see anything, but hey, at least you're not getting computer screen in my eyes. And I could take my glasses off. Sharpe end modelling and aquatics. And paranormal and nature. Am I considering? Well, I'm inheriting a couple of free tanks, Bob. One of which I'm going to call a 20 gallon. You know what I'm like, the tank sizes. This fish needs a minimum of, and I go, yeah, right. So, yeah, 20 gallon, but it's got to be something I can breed and make a bit of money out of. And there's part of me is tilting more towards the smaller end of African cichlids that aren't shell dwellers. And then another part of me is going towards either bristlenoses or cories or pistogrammas or cribs, and then something else, maybe killifish. Actually, Dan will know, it's the 64 litre version of the Love Fish Panorama is the tank I'm getting, but it comes with coming with a canister filter rather than the internal. I don't know what kind of canister, and that's going to be a funny video when I do how I set up a canister filter. My first canister. Yeah, I say the 40 litre has been lovely. I've not had a single issue with it. So I can't see there being any problems with the slightly larger one. And it's got the stand with it as well. Wrong colour, but hey, not going to complain. Nothing a coat of paint won't fix. So, yeah. I'll figure something out. It might be as simple as I set the tank up somehow and then I find a fish to suit the tank. Yeah, so it's that and the Tetra 54 litre is the other one I'm getting as well, Dan, which is going to be going on the bottom shelf down there and being filled with plecos. Because why not? If the lid doesn't just lift off, I'm sure I can figure out how to destroy the hinges so it does. Just get a hammer and a screwdriver and knock the hinge pins out, and then it will lift off and on. Yeah, so yeah, and some free fish as well, but we're going to be rehoming some of them. Well, as I say, there's some small tetras coming, a couple of rummy noses, and a few black neons. We already have black neons, so that's not an issue. A 12-year-old female bristlenose, which I'm guessing is past breeding age, so She would just drop in there with Bertie and Spotty. She won't cause any grief probably. And then 2 gouramis of some flavour. Not the dwarf or the honey or the croaking or the sparkling or the giant. Stephen likes meat and he likes pie. What's not to get? Exactly. For some reason, it seems to be a thing in America that pie is associated with sweet or fruit, whereas over here it's generally associated with meat. And a nice puff pastry, short crust, and then meat and gravy inside it, or even better, a suet pudding. Yeah. Again, that is the thing I've around here at least. I don't know about where up in the Great White North, Dan, but endlers around here, I'm only going to get 10p each. So you know what it is. Whatever the flavour of live bearer, it doesn't matter what colour it is, it's still just a guppy, just a platy, just a molly, just a swordtail. You don't get extra for a certain pretty pattern. Behind is the meat. Now I'm fully there with you on the meat pie. Dan's from further south than I am originally, so Dan's the pie mash and liquor, not that kind of liquor or that kind of liquor. I mean, in between me and Dan, there is a region where the meat pie sandwich is a thing. Is a very good question, Bob. Is what the LFS would actually buy. Make $1 million, get someone to give you $1 million, or $1 million people give you £1. Well, if we can get 1 million people to give me £1, I'll quite happily retire and just make YouTube videos and breed fish for the rest of my life. Because what I would do then is I would buy a bigger house, not that much bigger, to be honest. It has a big garage or garage. You never had pie and mash or liquor and mushy peas, you never lived. Exactly. Aha, howdy, Mike. Yeah, I'll say a lot of other nationalities knock British food. You know, the classic British meals. I look at it and I go, ugh. You know, our food isn't necessarily about what it looks like. It's about what it tastes like. And no, the simples. Beef stew and dumplings. Pie mash and liquor. Bangers and mash. Might not look pretty. Might look a bit meh or a bit boring on the plate. Bloody tastes good though. I'm sorry, but on a cold bank winter's evening, yeah, spotted dick. Yeah, the only problem with that is fruit. Well, if you've had spotted dick with chocolate chips in rather than, is it currants or is it raisins? One of them. With chocolate chips, even better. I say that's one of those comments that taken out of context can mean something completely different. Yeah, spotted dick and custard. Yeah, and that can be taken out of context as well. Sounds like some kind of infection. Well, not like blancmange, because that does look like an infection. But There's a reason these foods have been around for choc chip dick. Yeah. Let's see someone do a cookery video on choc chip dick and see if it actually gets monetized or not. I seriously doubt it would. I mean, so if you're doing videos about flower horns, you had to call it a nuchal hump. You, if you call it a cock, you're going to get in trouble. Kirk is the Kirk is the actual pronunciation, but it's spelled K-O-K, so it's cock. Let's be honest. Mind you, Fanny Craddock's cookbook probably don't go down too well in the States. Mind you, it don't go down too well in the UK. She was scary looking. She should have been old man Steptoe's wife. And again, that's a joke only the Brits are going to get. So yes, fishies. Anyway, yeah, you do your work. Don't go getting in trouble on my part. Don't work too hard. Some people older than me don't know what it is. Yeah, Steptoe and Son. I want to say 80s, but it's earlier than that. It black and white. It's either 60s or 70s British comedy about a rag and bone man and his son who were permanently broke. It was funny, but yeah, definitely of its time. Oh, yeah, I can quite imagine. Why the hell does he keep calling me Steptoe as you're cracking up laughing? Yeah, I can just see it. You go, hang on, let me just show you. Let me just show you old man Steptoe, played by the late great Wilfred Bramble. I was trying to remember the theme tune. Dun 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 dun. You dirty old man. Yeah. Harold! We completely lost the foreign audience, but hey. Am I a Monty Python fan? I'm English, of course I'm a Monty Python fan. 3 shall be the number of thine counting, and the number of thine counting shall be 3. Not 4, nor 5, nor 2, but 3. Having a bath in the sink. Yep. I mean, the Dead Parrot sketch is just endless, epic classic. Can't beat a bit of Monty Python. The Goodies was kind of similar as well. If anything, a bit more surreal. And even more English. So they were kind of back in the times when the humour didn't necessarily translate across the Atlantic. Certain people just don't get the jokes. Oh, Nick, these days there are plenty of British people who wouldn't get the jokes. I'll say things like yes minister and yes prime minister. These days they wouldn't be able to air it because it was too close to actually how politics really works. Yeah, cry instead. Yeah. Straight on Facebook or wherever, sending complaints. It's not even in 1080p. Why can't it be in 4K? Keeping up appearances. Oh, the Bouquet residence, lady of the house speaking, Sheldon. Yes. Now, the thing is, my nan, my grandmother, she is Hyacinth Bucket. She really is. Well, she's still alive, but yeah. Yeah. Are you being served? I'm free. Yes, and all the jokes about Mrs. Slocum's pussy. Oh, my pussy was out all night. When I came home, it was soaking wet. Talking about her cat, but you know, they knew exactly what they were doing. When you're getting pussy gags on BBC at like 7 o'clock in the evening. Yeah, and then there were the. I mean, got to admit, those were the safer ones. You start getting into. I mean, are you being served? Yeah. Are you being served? Yeah. Open all hours was another good one. Granville. Late great Ronnie Barker, and a very, very young David Jason. And Till Death Do Us Part. What was the one before that? It was basically the character Alf Garnett. It's just hilarious. You couldn't put it on anything these days. It would even get removed from Pornhub for the jokes. But yeah, classics. I'm not even going to repeat some of the milder jokes from that show because, yeah, I'd probably get banned off of YouTube. Yes, so then I enjoy a lot of the American comedy shows. Friends I never really got, but Cheers was awesome. Oh yeah, Hello Hello is just classic. Everyone worldwide should watch Hello Hello because even if you can't necessarily understand it, it's still funny. It was even popular in France, dubbed in French. But the thing is, they dubbed Rene and all the actual French characters in French, but kept the English policeman who was pretending to be French with the original voice. Yeah, Hello Hello is just awesomely funny. I mean, can you imagine that these days, trying to set a comedy in occupied France during World War II? You would not get away with it. The idea would just not get accepted. Again, the late great Gordon Kay in that as well. But yeah, I used to love Home Improvements when I was younger. Tim Allen. That's Tim the Toolman Taylor. I did even have a Binford sticker on my toolbox at one point. Trying to think what other ones I used to watch a lot of. I say Cheers, Taxi. Howdy, freaky fishy lady. How are you? Well, I hope all is well. We're on the Bouquet residence. Yeah, Hyacinth Bouquet and Richard Bucket. It's the Bucket lady. It's Bouquet, not Bucket. Yeah, the sort of classic 70s and 80s, maybe 90s comedies that were just. Yeah, you're nearly there on Psychiatrist. PSYCH. Yeah, Taxi was classic. Cheers was awesome. The very young Woody Harrelson. Oh, trying to think what other ones did I used to watch and enjoy. Not necessarily a comedy, but Due South. I used to love that. I think that's more Canadian than American, though. It was based in America, so it might have been American. But yeah, Due South was awesome. I'll say it's Weeds and Breaking Bad. Yeah, so I never watched Weeds. Watched some Breaking Bad. Are you being served? Exactly, Bob. We were just discussing that with Mrs. Slocum's pussy. And I'm free. Yes. I was like, the thing is, you watch these shows again and you see all these big name famous actors when they were young. I've got the Critters box set on DVD for my sins. I've got a lot of DVDs, so I'm going to have some duffers in there somewhere. It was actually cheaper to buy the box set than it was to buy Critters 1. But Critters 3 stars a very young Leonardo DiCaprio. I mean, really young, like looks about 14. Yeah, I've not watched TV in years either. It's got to be good. I mean, even when I was still watching TV, it was literally just match of the day, and then F1 and MotoGP and QI, mock the week. But yeah, it shows how long ago that was. I generally just, I mean, I'll occasionally watch a bit on Prime. And Clarkson's Farm was hilarious and also very informative and interesting. Yeah, most of the stuff I watch is on YouTube, whether it be fishy stuff, historical stuff, nerdy stuff, engineering type stuff, space stuff, paranormal stuff. Yeah, I say my TV gets turned on, but it doesn't. It automatically goes to the HDMI channel. It doesn't doesn't go to TV. There's nothing really on TV I want to watch, and certainly not enough on any of the actual pay channels for me to pay for. By the time you paid for the subscription to watch it, you may as well wait a year and buy it on DVD. It'll be cheaper, and you can watch it again and again whenever you like. Oh yes, gotta love a bit of John Borland. He is superb storyteller. He just needs to learn how to wear a hat. That's the only problem there, Bob. But yeah, Mr. Borland is good. Yes, I don't know if it's strange or I find it interesting. Let's put it that way. That myself and Bob, despite the slight age gap and nationality gap, have very similar interests in the channels we watch on YouTube. Let's be honest, I doubt there are many people you could be chatting with in the chat of a YouTube stream and be talking about a YouTube channel about a mortician or someone who does true horror or a mere 25 years. You're not 70, Bob. Oh, sorry, you're 20. Yeah. Yeah, it is. I say not strange. It's an interesting thought, really. That two people from completely different backgrounds, from different generations, end up watching the same things on YouTube. I've got a funny feeling if we looked up and down each other's subscription lists, they would probably be fairly similar. And there would probably be a few on mine that you go, oh, cool. And I'll probably find a few on yours that I went, oh, cool. It's, jumping in the bar. So I'm not sure how I feel about a man listening to me in the bath, Aaron. I don't mind the ladies doing it. Don't mind the ladies getting in the bath. But who am I kidding? That's what I have Will Patterson's videos for. And that does wind him up. Yeah, in the bath watching. Oh. So there we go. There's a good question for peeps. What YouTube channels do you watch that aren't fishy based or pet based? Although pet based can be cool. Now, if you got, let's say, like Mr. Borland or Caitlin Doughty or Ave or something different to the hobby, as it were, of fish keeping or modelling. Thanks. That'd be interesting. Let's see what. You never know. We might find some other unsung channels that we might be interested. I mean, I enjoy the Matthews fam because Elle makes me laugh, and to be honest, most of the time the videos he's reacting to are interesting. Oh no. When you're doing that with your backy, Tim, means you're low on backy. Polymer, clay, and leatherworking. Cool. So I don't necessarily watch leatherworking as such, but I do watch sometimes some of the boot and shoe makers and cobblers and repairers type channels. Korean, Japanese prank and model channels. Real engineering disasters. Yeah. Hey, oh, Jimmy, I've been painting my fish room 14 square feet for about 4 months. See the physical limitations of it. Hey, you just do what you can, Jimmy. That's it. No sense overdoing it and causing yourself more problems. Yeah. If you can only do a couple of square feet of wall a day, then only do a couple of square feet of wall a day. It's the way it works. County survival, FBI files, gardening and self-reliance. Uncle Mullet. Self-reliance. Oh, what was the channel name? The guy's name is Sean. He was building himself a log cabin in the middle of Nowheresville, Canada, so he could basically go off grid and just rely on himself. Paranormal. There we go. Freaky Fish Lady, Holly. Yes, I watch lots and lots of paranormally type stuff. Heck, I even do my own paranormally type stuff. Not the full investigations, because that takes going places at night and being awake and doing editing, and I don't do that. But I share a house with 2 ghosts, so I don't really have much choice in the matter. Was it not this week's, but the week before's video was a tour of a haunted ruined church. I suppose I could do a follow-up video on that, saying about it's sensitive. Very cool. I kind of am, in that I'm not a medium in that I can walk in and go, yeah, it's a man. Yeah, he's wearing a grey suit. He's got a trilby on. His name's Roger. Now I can feel there's something there. I can pick up on the presence and get a gist of what's going on. So I've got a shadow person that followed me back from an ancient cemetery in Norwich. I kind of invited it. Well, basically, I was up there, and I was just sat there killing time before I had to go to the job centre. And it's a busy city, so go sit in the graveyard. There's a bench. It's quiet. It's calm, peaceful, and I felt a presence. So I just said hello, and it was a calm, peaceful, no negative vibes, nothing. I sort of end up talking to it, I guess. And I say that you can come home with me, basically. Well, I didn't actually say that, but it followed me home. So that is now known as shadow. Don't see directly, but you hear it walking around upstairs. See the shadow at the top of the stairs, catch your movement at the corner of your eye. And the other one is that handsome fella. He's around as well. He makes his presence known a lot. He jumps up on the bed with me and likes to pull air lines out of air pumps. Just generally looks after me. Mysteries and that. Proper built for urban exploration. Yep, not the annoying, loud, shouty types. You're welcome, Jimmy. I try and get here every Sunday. It's least now, well, I'm not working at all, but now I've had Shadow here for a couple of years now. Holly's completely benign, benevolent. The worst thing it's done is turn a model round. It's a model bust of Jessica Rabbit, and it was turned around facing the wrong way. I've lived with spirits most of my life, so they don't bother me. Mike and I share the same penchant, the same pets, doing the same thing the same day without them. Oh yeah. Geek minds think alike. Carrying mortician science. So we do. So I think between the fishy family, we do share quite a lot of similar outside of the fish interests, which I do find very cool. I say the one thing that annoys me with paranormal investigations is the ones who go in and antagonize, and they're like, "Yeah, show yourself," and they're trying to make shit and make an exciting program. That's not what you want. The calm, measured. Is there something here? And then explain what you're feeling, and if you hear or see anything, say. But it's not always demons. It's not always evil spirits. And so, of all the various things I've encountered in my life, 2 have been negative. And yeah, protected by your grandmother. Yeah, I'll say this guy protects me now. He's my little spirit buddy. Yeah, they're asking for trouble. Yeah, the way I see it is, let's just say I was going into a building to do a paranormal investigation. Let me light the ciggy first. I'm the same as when I visited the church the other week. Is you're going into someone's house. That person might not be alive anymore, but it's still their home or their place of worship or whatever. So you treat them and you treat the building with respect, reverence, deference, whatever you want to call it. You go there, peaceful, calm. Say hello. Let them know you have no ill feelings, no ill will. You just want to communicate. And if things are going to happen, they'll happen. And, it's one thing doing it in an abandoned building where, like an old sanatorium or asylum or something. But when people go into someone's house and they do the antagonizing, the person who lives there has got to deal with it afterwards. And the reason they called the investigators in is because they want help with the problem. And the investigators have probably just made it worse. It's, what I say is you treat them like people, because they are people. You treat them with respect. I mean, I still feel stupid when I say it. If I go into somewhere that I either know is haunted or I can feel or is haunted, I literally go in, hello, my name's John. I come in peace and light with respect. I mean no harm. I'd just like to communicate or feel your presence. Feels a bit silly saying it out loud, even just sat here in front of a camera. But I've not had problems. It's like to it's your church. I literally had the rector from 1600 and something, a Reverend John Boys. He literally, I mean, he didn't say it out loud and like, welcome, welcome, but as we walked in, we felt we were being welcomed into the church. Other people have gone into that church and been loud and brash and abrasive and either not got anything or they've been made to feel like they don't belong there and they should get out. We were invited in. At one point, the rector was holding my hands. Whether he was praying for my soul, I don't know, quite possibly. And it turned out it was draining quite a bit of energy from me because I basically slept most of the next day, as did Mary. And Mary made contact with the spirit of a small child, which took her by the hand. She was a little bit freaked out. But she's like, no, okay, I know this isn't bad. It's freaky, but it's not bad. And the child spirit led her to the grave, led her to his grave. And so we stood by the grave and we said some words. And then afterwards, Mary went and looked up and dug through the records and found out who he was. How old he was when he passed. And next time we go there, may not put flowers on the grave for a boy because that feels a bit weird, but now we'll go and we'll say hello to him. Might leave a small toy on the grave for him. You know, something like that. Yeah. I mean, I quite regularly go for a wander around our local cemetery here and you see if there's anyone willing to communicate. I've not heard voices, but I've certainly felt presences. I try and avoid going through the children's section, or especially the children's section in the new part of the graveyard, because that's not a nice place to be. It's very, very sad. Yeah, it's sad the children have passed as young as they have, but there's also, you can feel it in the air, and it's not a pleasant feeling. It's not a negative feeling. It's not bad. It's not scary. It's just not nice. Let's put it that way. So I'm weird. Who knew? And we haven't lost everyone either, which is a bonus. Claudia came with an armoire. So there we go. You bought an old armoire at an auction and came with the spirit. I'd say she was probably very proud of that armoire in her life. It might have been her most prized possession. And here you are, looking after it, giving it a good home. So you've got a positive spirit. If you'd have taken it home, stripped all the finish off of it, repainted it some gaudy colour and changed all the handles and what have you, or just stuck it in a shed, probably wouldn't be a positive experience. But then if you were going to change something about it, you would say, look, I really love this armoire, it's beautiful, but the colours don't quite fit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to repaint it in a different colour or refinish it in a different colour, just so it fits in my colour scheme in my home. Don't mean any harm. Don't mean to damage it or destroy it or anything like that. And all great. You speak to them like they're humans, because even if you can't have a two-way conversation, you're at least letting them know, because I'm sure they can hear us, even if we can't hear them all the time, and put their mind at ease. How many times do you hear about a house being quiet and then people go to do renovations and it all kicks off? Little white dress, it's hers, it's inside, youngest niece. Oh, bless. See, this is it, young children as well. I'm a firm believer that invisible friends are spirits, or, imaginary friends. I'm a firm believer they're spirits. And small children just haven't had that drummed out of them yet that ghosts aren't real. And the imaginary friend, likely, because they all vanish eventually at some point, it's probably because the child's got to the point where they no longer just accept things. The small child just accepts everything as it is. A small child doesn't see someone of a different color or nationality as different. They just accept them. Or someone who's disabled. They just accept it as, well, that's just how such and so is. Doesn't mean they're better or worse or whatever. They're different. But yeah, whatever. And I got lucky and I didn't get a chance to get it knocked out of me because I saw my great grandma a few days after her funeral when we were cleaning out her flat or bungalow. I came wandering back out of the bedroom. Mum said, "Who are you talking to in that bedroom?" And I said, "Great grandma." And she just went white. But my great grandma was there, sat in her bed, which is how I remembered her being, because I was still only like 4 or something. And that's how I remembered her being in bed. She was bedridden, basically. And we had a chat. I mean, I was still at the age where I didn't really understand that a funeral meant that person was dead and they were gone. So seeing her in her bed didn't freak me out at all. It was just that's where grandma or great grandma was and always was. So that's why she was there. So I just accepted it. And it's like, because of that, I think throughout life, I still see, well, not necessarily see, but experience and just accept these things. I don't blank them out. Because they don't scare me. And that is probably what next week's video might be about. Why people are scared of the unknown and ghosts in particular. Exactly, might well be a much better place if we followed the principle of children's innocence instead of teaching hatred. Yes, well, waffling on about ghostly stories, as usual. Yeah, I'll say, were you of an age where, no, I say you were 5, I was maybe 4, 3, 4, something like that, maybe 5, I don't know, I can't remember. But I hadn't been taught or quite twigged that dead meant they weren't. I thought it was just like they'd had a some kind of party because I didn't go to the funeral. Yeah, so you saw it, and then you associated that with, yeah, exactly. They're there. It's not like the see-through wispy, or you've imagined it. It's, well, you have an experience like that. You can't. It's like seeing a rock. There's a rock. You can't unimagine it or unsee it. There's a rock. Yeah, I'll say so. If you'd been at the point where you understood what dead was and what ghosts were, I can imagine it being scary. Because I didn't necessarily quite get or understand that, it just wasn't scary to me, and to this day, so I've run from two things in my life, and on both occasions, well, actually, on the first occasion, all of us just pegged it because we did. It was a large shadow creature in an old air raid shelter from World War II. Oh. And the other was one I did the video on of the beast in the. Actually, no, I didn't run away from that. I walked away from that. But the other was seeing black shuck, and I ran because my friends ran. Yeah, this is it. You thought you were normal and everyone else was weird because they couldn't see or feel these things. Exactly. I can't smell anything, so to me, people go, "Oh, that smells," and I'm like, "What? Weirdo." Yeah, I just just don't notice it. But anyway, my time is up. Again, I really should remember who it is who goes after me, but I can't. I'm sure someone in chat knows who it is who streams after me. There is someone. I'm sure of it. So thank you everyone for showing up and having a good natter and putting up with my waffle and random weirdness. Yeah, there we go. So, I wonder why I didn't question seeing people that passing. Yeah, exactly. It's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all, Mandy. Anyway, the usual. Peace out. Stay safe. Rock on. Bye bye. Sunday sharp do 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 do. Sunday sharp do 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 do. Sunday sharp do 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 do. Ah.